Switchcraft is brought to you live 3 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern and on Saturday at whatever time I can get to it. Tune in live over at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. This particular episode of Switchcraft is brought to you by Abe. Support my content by heading on over to patreon.com/runjumpstomp. See, that's why I read this stuff. And then we'll save. Yes, we got to save. SC204. No, 204. There we go. Switchcraft episode 204 is brought to you by Audible. Get a free book and directly support the show by checking out Audible. They have thousands of books from every genre. You're definitely going to find something you like. Just head on over to runjumpstomp.com/audible. I just spent I spent like 5 hours in a car today probably, and it was really boring. Or it would have been really boring, but I had a book to listen to. I was listening to The Ultimate History of Video Games by Stephen L. Kent. I just started reading this, and yes, I consider listening to a book reading, but I just started reading it today, and I'm like 8 chapters in, and it's really good. I'm very much enjoying it, and there's some stuff in there that I didn't know about, which is kind of cool, because I've already read a couple of books about the video game industry. So again, if you want to get a free book, and I recommend this one or Console Wars, or Super Mario, How Japan Conquered the U.S., check out runjumpstomp.com/audible. Excuse me. Sponsor. And there's a car going by. Real quick, before we jump into the news today, I just want to remind everyone that we are coming up on the end of our 200,000 download contest. So the show had been downloaded over 200,000 times in just 4 months, which was crazy. So in order to celebrate that, I'm giving away $60 worth of eShop cash. Head on over to runjumpstomp.com/giveaway in order to enter. And I'm going to be doing the drawing for that probably July 1st or 2nd or sometime right around there, but the contest will end on the last day of June. So make sure that you get over to runjumpstomp.com/giveaway to enter today. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I should have muted that. Giveaway. There we go. Well, it is official. Mr. Shuntaro Furukawa is now the 6th president of Nintendo. He was sworn in today, and he gave us our first message from him as the president of Nintendo. He said, where is it? Nintendo's basic strategy is enlargement of population that gets into contact with Nintendo's IPs. I'd like to improve the corporate values by having even more people get into contact with the characters and game world settings created by Nintendo. Now, this is a pretty big different mission statement than has been previously coming from Nintendo. If we look at Mr. Iwata, he always said that Nintendo's, well, not always, but in the era of the Wii and the 3DS, he was always quoted as saying that Nintendo's goal was to grow the market of gamers, to make more gamers than we already had. And I think that Nintendo did a pretty good job with that with the Wii, although some would say that a lot of them never, the new gamers probably didn't stick around. So it makes sense that Nintendo would change strategies. Now, I don't think that Mr. Kimishima came out with a new goal when he became president, but that's mostly because he was always going to be the interim president. So now that Mr. Kimishima has been replaced, not because he did a bad job, but because he retired, and now we've got Mr. Furakawa, and basically they're just trying to say, look, Nintendo has some of the most recognizable characters in the world, and a lot of people don't come into contact with these with this intellectual properties because they don't play video games or because they don't play games on Nintendo systems. So we need to make sure that we find a way to reach those people, because by doing that, that will entice them to, pick up a game and interact with Nintendo's IPs firsthand. He goes on to say, at the same time as the entertainment corporate, Nintendo puts on a CSR policy of making everyone related to Nintendo smile, I think the social responsibility we must fulfill is to expand the circle of smile in society with Nintendo's products and services. So he kind of said the same thing again. And of course, this is translated from Japanese, which is not an easy thing to do. So maybe some things are a little lost in translations, like that sentence was kind of weird. I think that Nintendo is probably going to be in good hands with Mr. Furakawa, but only time will tell. And let's go ahead and welcome Mr. Shintaro Furakawa as the new president of Nintendo, and we'll see exactly what kind of president, excuse me, he is going to be. Furukawa. There we go. Probably butchering that guy's poor name. All right. And by the way, I'm not recording this live. You may have noticed, people who are watching on YouTube. I just, you know what? I'll talk about this in a second. Actually, no, because, the people who are just listening to the show, they don't care. I'm not recording this live today because I was in the mountains today for a science conference. And, I told everyone I'm not doing a show today. But I got home a little earlier than expected, so I decided to do a show. So it's going to be a shorter one. Actually, maybe I should say all that. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, you get to hear it twice. All right. Before we move on, I almost forgot about this. I basically told people not to expect an episode of Switchcraft today, because I was at a science conference out in the mountains, way out in the middle of nowhere, and I did not expect to be able to get back in time to record anything. Now, I'm not doing this live, so I'm not going to have the interaction from the chat, which makes it a little bit harder to do. But I wanted to make sure I got 3 episodes in this week, even if this one's going to be shorter than most of them. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys know why I'm kind of rushing through things. It's because it's been a very, very long day. Let's take a look at Nintendo. Has mentioned that docked and undocked play time for the Switch is about even. This is on a per user detail. So basically, Nintendo is getting a lot more information than they're sharing with us. And they were talking to Ars Technica, the senior vice president of sales and marketing, Doug Bowser. And yes, that's really his name, is Doug Bowser. And he was talking to Ars Technica, and he said that the play time split between docked and undocked on the Switch is about even, about 50% in the dock and 50% away from the dock. The latter time chunk includes both tabletop play and fully handheld play. He said that Bowser said the company doesn't currently monitor which undocked mode the player's using at any given time. Well, then how would they know that? Maybe just like survey or something. He went on to say, while overall play time for docked and undocked is pretty much balanced, this is obviously going to vary by game. So, if you're playing, we'll say Paladins, which I've been playing a lot of recently because that game is really fun. For me, I don't think that the Joy-Con really lends itself to a shooter. So I never take that out of the dock when I'm playing Paladins. It's always using the Pro Controller when it's docked, and that's how I play that. Now, if I want to play Puyo Puyo Tetris, that game plays wonderfully on the Joy-Cons. I think it plays really, really well. Games like SteamWorld Dig 2, that one, even though that is a side-scroller, I feel like the short throw of the Joy-Cons works exceedingly well, if not better than the Pro Controller. So overall, I really think it depends on what kind of game you're playing as to where it is that you're going to be playing it the most. I'm really curious as how this is going to skew with Fortnite, because Fortnite, while it's a shooter, it's now a shooter that you can take with you, and it is a ridiculously popular game. So I'm very curious how that is going to change things. Anyway, I left it on that screen for way too long. All right, let's move on. All right, we'll name that Split, I guess. Save. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. And I almost forgot. I can't believe I almost forgot this. I saw that and I was like, yeah, 50%? I'm really actually find that surprised. So I created a Twitter poll, which anybody can answer. It's if you follow me on Twitter, it's just twitter.com/runjumpstomp. And you will see the Twitter poll there. And it says, according to my Twitter question was, according to Nintendo, it's about even. I find it hard to believe. So I'm curious, which one do you fall on, and reply with your reasons. And I did that, I don't know, maybe an hour ago. And it was 79% said mostly docked, 7% said mostly undocked, and 14% said about even. And then dblank78 on Twitter said, I like to play docked on the big screen. My eyes are not what they used to be. That's a good point too. But let me know by responding to the Twitter poll, which you can find again at twitter.com/runjumpstomp. All right, we got that out of the way. I almost forgot that part. Twitter poll. Save. And we'll close that. What is that? Oh, okay. All right. And speaking of Twitter, we've got a tweet from @Nintendo America, or Nintendo of America. They said a new special outfit has been added to Super Mario Odyssey. After you finish the main story, check out the shop to find the Rango hat and Rango suit, and it looks really cool. He's wearing like little suspenders. He's got a bow tie and a big old hat with like these weird cloth things sticking out. And for some reason, he's got what almost look like Bowser style bracelets on, where they've got like spikes on them. So I'm not sure what that's all about. Oh no, those are his ears. Oh, Rango, is Rango a bunny? I really don't know, because if you look at Mario's feet, and if you're just listening to it, I'm just going to have to describe it to you. His feet look like rabbit feet. So I'm really not sure who Rango is, but apparently you can wear his hat and suit in Super Mario Odyssey now. And I do like that Nintendo keeps adding more outfits. I just wish that they would also add more worlds. I think that would be really, really cool. Something else that is coming directly from Nintendo, I went on their press release and I saw that they were just listing a bunch of new games that are coming out this week. And this is something I've tried a couple times to say, okay, every week I'm going to sit down and I'm going to post all the new games that are coming to the Nintendo's or to Nintendo. And almost every week I forget to post them on my website, but I'm going to try and do better. And if you don't see one from me every week, feel free to give me a little nudge to remind me. But if we take a look at the games coming out this week, we've got a whole bunch. We've got Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. That comes out tomorrow, June 29th, or if you're listening to this after the fact, which most of you probably are, today. And that game is supposed to be pretty damn good, and I'm looking forward to playing it, but I'm not going to pick it up right away. I'm going to wait and see if it goes on sale, maybe on another platform, because I don't really care if I can take it with me or not. But if you only have a Switch, then that's your only way to play Wolfenstein 2. Also, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I'm not really excited for this game, mostly because I never played a Crash Bandicoot game, so it really doesn't hold any nostalgic appeal for me to go back and play that game. Although from what I heard, the Crash Bandicoot games are really good, and this is 3 games in one, so that seems like a hell of a deal. And then other games that we have on here, we've got I don't know what game this is from, but it looks creepy, this picture that I'm showing. But we've got ACA Neo Geo Money Puzzle Exchanger. We've got Angels of Death, Anima, Gates of Memories, Arcade Archives, Renegade, Dream Alone, Figment. Now, Figment is a game that I've played. I've done the first look over at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/runjumpstomp. Make sure that you check out that first look. That game's actually really cool and has some of the best sound design I've ever experienced in a game. They've got Grave Danger, Inside, and then Limbo. Limbo is another game that I absolutely adored. I played it years ago on the PC. You play like this kid who is lost in this really dark world, and you have to solve puzzles. And, you know, the kid dies in horrible ways, but it's not like gory or anything, but it's still super, super creepy. MotoGP 18, Neko Para, No Heroes Here, Photon Cube, Runbow, Spirit Sphere Deluxe. This is another game where I've done a first look. My son and I sat down and played a couple of matches of Spirit Fear Deluxe on the Switch. That comes out on July 2nd. That game is really fun. I probably wouldn't recommend playing it if you don't have somebody to play it with, but I had a lot of fun playing that with my son. I guess I would describe it as tennis with magic and items, which is really weird that they would bring that game out right after Mario Tennis came out. Seems like not the best plan there, but you know, maybe it was out of their hands. Also, The Journey Down Chapter 2, Waking Violet, Block-A-Pix Color, and IFO. So those are all games that are on the eShop this week. And I won't do a rundown on the podcast every week unless you guys really want me to, mostly because, you know, I don't have time to look at every single one of these games and kind of form an opinion on it. And just reading a list of things usually isn't something that I want to do. But if you want to check out the games that are coming every week, just make sure that you go to runjumpstomp.com. And if you don't see something there, you know, give me a poke and say, hey, what are you doing? Get with it, man. Finally, before we get out of here, don't miss your chance to play 30 of the best retro games ever with NES Classic Edition returning to stores Friday, June 29th. So that means tomorrow. So if you are one of those hardcore, awesome people who listen to the podcast as soon as it posts to your phone or whatever, first off, thank you very much. Secondly, go to sleep right now so that you can wake up early enough to get in line to get your hands on an NES Classic, because this thing, and I'm holding it up for the people watching on YouTube, this thing is so cool. Really fantastic little micro console, plays like a dream, perfect emulation, and I really like the part where you can do like save states, so that these more difficult games you can just save, and then if you die, you can go back, and I like that. My one criticism of this is that the controller that comes with it has like the shortest cable you've ever seen. Super, super short, and I wish that they had just used USB, but they used the Nintendo Wii little ports on it, which I think was a huge mistake by them. But I don't know, maybe they just had those ports laying around. Anyway, that's it for the news today, you guys. I think that we've nailed it. Now, before I get out of here, I want to say that we've got a tournament for Mario Tennis Aces. Join the Nerd Nest Mario Tennis Aces tournament. All that you have to do is fill out the form over at runjumpstomp.com/aces. After we get enough people, then I will post the bracket. You'll find your opponent in the bracket. You'll play against your opponent, and somebody will have to submit a screenshot of the winner to a channel that I'm going to post in the Discord after we get the bracket up and running. And then after the first round and everybody's done their matches, I will make a new bracket of the winners, and we will continue. And the winner of the tournament gets a $10 eShop gift card courtesy of Back B. He's a community member in the Nerd Nest, which is what I call our Discord channel. And of course, the runner-up will get a $5 eShop gift card courtesy of me. So if you haven't already joined, again, go to runjumpstomp.com/aces. And if you're watching the video right now, you will see a, whoops, there we go. I missed. There we go. You'll see just a very simple Google form where you enter your name and your friend code, and that's so that I can make the bracket. But anyway, make sure that you do that sooner rather than later so we can get this this tournament started. Don't forget, if you want to watch the full show, you can either watch live over at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp, or if live doesn't work for you because you are a very, very busy and important person, I totally understand. Just watch it after the fact over at youtube.com/runjumpstomp. Finally, if you are looking to support my content, you can easily do that by heading on over to runjumpstomp.com/thank-you. Once you are there, you're going to find all kinds of different links that will help support the show. Maybe you only like buying digital games. Well, you can support the show by going to Amazon using my affiliate link and buying eShop gift cards for yourself, and then buy whatever game you want. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it definitely supports the show. You can also join Audible or anything else over again at runjumpstomp.com/thank-you. This was a super lightning fast round of news today. I'm out of here, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.